Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome back to the channel. If you're putting a remote ID on your drone or model aircraft, have you claimed your $50 rebate from the FAA? Did you know about the $50 rebate? Well, there isn't one, but there should be. I'm going to tell you why. Back in 2016, the FAA decided that they wanted as many manned aircraft as possible to be fitted with ADSB, safety, and also helps air traffic management. So they introduced a rebate scheme. They said, if you put ADSB in your manned aircraft, we'll give you $500 to offset the costs of that expense. And so a lot of people signed up for that, and a lot of people put ADSB in. 2 years later, they did it again. In 2018, they allocated $5 million to the ADSB rebate scheme. They expected that would cover almost 10,000 ADSB installations, that subsidise the cost of those installations, because they figured ADSB is so important, it's so crucial to safety, that they had to help pilots out, and an incentive to go ahead and install this safety technology. It was mandated by law, of course. By 2020 you had to have this, but despite the fact that there was no option, they also decided to provide the rebate to give an incentive. It's a carrot and stick thing. And how's that work with the hobby? Well, the FAA said you must put remote ID on your models, on your drones, and it'll cost about $50. Well, turns out it costs at least twice that, maybe 2-3 times that. FAA got that number wrong, but they're still saying you must have it. You must have it. So why can they not offer a rebate for remote ID devices? They've done it for ADSB twice. They did it twice for ADSB. And if remote ID is as important as they say, why can't they do it for remote ID? Now, as I say, they said $50 for a remote ID module. Turns out, if you take away the early bird special, it's about $100 for the cheapest remote ID modules for drones and model aircraft. So I call on the FAA to introduce a rebate scheme. When somebody buys a remote ID module for $100 or any price and sends you the receipt, you should send them back $50, just like you did with the ADSB installations in 2016 and 2018. The rebate system, you've set a precedent twice with that. If you're really keen and you want to incentivize people to install equipment, safety equipment on their craft, you're willing to subsidize the cost. So let's do it for remote ID. Let's see the FAA put its money where its mouth is. If it's really this important that all these craft have remote ID, and you got your numbers so wrong by a factor of 2, then step up to the plate and pay the difference. Pay the $50. And that would encourage people to comply, to make it easier for people to comply. A lot of people want to comply, but they may not be in a position to easily comply from a fiscal perspective. Times are tough. Prices are going through the roof. Wages and salaries are pretty static. People don't have a lot of disposable income anymore. So it's your job, if safety is what you're aiming at, it's your job to step up to the plate and help those people be compliant, in the same way you helped people become compliant with the ADSB rule. That's all I've got to say. So I expect to see an announcement from the FAA. If safety is their real bottom line, if they're not bullshitting us, if this is all about safety, then they will be announcing the $50 rebate for every remote ID module purchased in the USA to be installed on a drone or model aircraft. What do you think? Is that a good idea? Is it unreasonable? Go down by my man parts and leave a comment. If you think this video needs to be seen, then spread the link. And if you think the FAA needs to see it, tell them about it and see what they say. See if they're open to this, what I consider a constructive suggestion. There we go. Thank you for watching. Thanks to those who support the channel. And now I'll get back to work. Bye for now.
Overregulation is like a tumor. It's killing our hobby. It must be terminated. Now!